Here's some breaking news. The Toronto Blue Jays have just absolutely robbed the MLB. And following what was a heartbreaking past few days after the World Series loss in Game 7, the Jays have made their first huge move of the offseason, and it is surrounding Shane Bieber. And it is actually Shane Bieber not only doing the Jays a massive favor, but folks, this is a big favor and a big robbery for this team. I'm going to break down exactly what this signing is and discuss, most importantly, what it means going forward, as it gives the Jays a lot of flexibility as we are approaching winter meetings. Free agency has started, and I am over the moon about this deal. A ton to go over on this episode, folks, but before we get into it all, if you're part of the percentage you aren't subscribed to the channel, this is the place to be for daily Jays content. Folks, did not expect this to drop, and moments ago here, about 15 or so minutes ago, breaking, Shane Bieber has opted in with the Jays for $16 million. Wants to continue in Toronto for another year with the Jays. And folks, I am absolutely floored, like genuinely floored that this is happening. And after the horrible World Series the horrible heartbreak from the World Series is obviously fantastic. To get Shane Bieber back at $16 million, nobody, and I mean nobody, thought he was going to opt in. Yes, he was coming off of Tommy John surgery. Yes, all these things. People were talking about bringing Shane Bieber back on 3 years, $60 million with maybe a player option after the first year in case he does really well. He said, screw that. I want to come back to Toronto. And he loved it here so much that he's taking what, we all assumed to be a discount, because he didn't even give many people a chance to offer him a contract. The World Series ended Saturday, 3 days ago. I am shocked. I am happy. You can see this here. The power of friendship brought him back. I am genuinely shocked he opted in, because he easily could have gotten a higher AAV and more years on the market. Max got a $15.5 million last year, and Shade is a decade younger and better. Folks, this is a finesse, and I think this is starting to show, we'll dive into a bunch of different things here, but starting to show a shift in culture, I guess, for this Toronto Blue Jays team. This was, yes, as horrible as it was, missing a World Series championship by inches, by feet, by centimeters, by millimeters. This team was so close that they convinced a guy who they acquired at the deadline, who had never played in Canada prior, had never played in Toronto prior, has a family, to return basically instantly for an extremely good price. Now, was he great in the regular season? He was pretty dang good. Was he good in the postseason? He wasn't great, but he also had some decent, starts. I am so happy. This is an instant W for this team. You look at all the free agents that are still available, and Shane Bieber was one of the, named one of the top free agents in this graph today. And I was going to use this graphic in the video tomorrow, but you look at all these free agents now. The Jays save a ton of money here. They get Bieber locked up. And now, if he plays good this year, you have a full year sample size instantly to then use that and potentially extend him for even more if he plays well. Because you look at his stats there on the bottom left. This year, 7 starts, 3.57 ERA. Very solid. And of course, he was coming off of Tommy John surgery. He looked pretty healthy. He started for the Jays on short rest, obviously pitched at multiple points. I am over the moon here. And of course, he was the one who gave up that home run in Game 7. But this is such a good deal. It is an unbelievable deal. This is a guy who has Cy Young caliber, has potential, obviously. And he was first in Cy Young voting back in 2020, a long time ago. But he has a career 3.24 ERA. He's not old. He's 30 years old. He's a command-based pitcher, right? So his velocity hasn't really dropped a ton because of the Tommy John surgery. And now one of the biggest issues with this team is going to be starting pitching next year. You lock Bieber up, you now have Gausman, Trey Savage, José Berríos, and Shane Bieber locked up. If you can go out and get one more guy who could be an ace, man, oh man, the sky is the limit for this team. You can maybe go out and now re-sign Bichette. And this is what's interesting. Claps obviously talks about the power of friendship. It is truly going to be something special here if they can bring, the players love the team so much that you can get Bichette back. You get some of these other guys back, and you can run it back like you did last year, but with improved, players. I truly believe in that. And it is insane. You can see here from Mitch Bannon, Shane Bieber has opted into his contract, 1 year at $16 million. Seems to have a chance to opt out after a strong stretch run in playoffs with the Jays. Instead, he runs it back. And like John Heyman said, he ran it back because he wanted to continue another year with the Jays. This was not about the money. It simply wasn't. He could have got a multi-year deal. Starting pitching is hard to get. Max Scherzer at 41 years old got the same amount, essentially, $500,000 less, than Shane Bieber did, who, yes, is coming off Tommy John, but Scherzer was coming off a bunch of injuries too. This is a robbery, no matter what way you put it. An absolute robbery. I am over the moon that they were able to get this done. He had a $4 million buyout and he re-upped for 1 year, not 12 million, but 1 year, 16 million. And I'm happy. I am very, very happy. He could have got bought out, obviously made the 4 million, and then added on to a multi-year deal. But I think now he knows the Jays will do good by him. If he comes out and has a good year next year, the Jays will go ahead and they'll pay him money and he'll want to stay. And you have the potential now. And even rewinding, you gave up Cal Steven, your number 5 prospect. People were saying it's a rental, that Shane Bieber's going to want to go back home to the West Coast. No, he just opted in. He wanted to stay because he loves his teammates. He was one of the guys who spoke super highly of the Toronto Blue Jays and the organization after the season. Midway through the season, he said how great this team is. You can now use this as a starting point, and we needed this after the heartbreak we had in the World Series. We needed it. They can go out now and they can make big splashes for free agents. Say, free agents are going to say, hey, Shane Bieber wanted to stay in Toronto after getting traded. Let me see what this is all about. Make a splash for a Kyle Tucker. Go out and get a Dylan Cease. Go out and get some high-level free agents and run this thing back, but with an even better squad. And I am just floored that he took this offer. And maybe you guys won't be as excited as I am because, recency bias about, him blowing, the World Series and giving up the home run to Will Smith. Doesn't matter, right? He had a decent playoff run, all things considered, had a couple really good starts, one really good start in particular. He had a very, very good regular season. He's part of the reason that this team made the World Series and made the playoffs and won the AL East down the stretch. To get him back on what's no money at all is shocking. And it goes to show the power of friendship, if you want to call it that, as Ernie Clement called it. It goes to show that this team was not only one of the closest teams in baseball, they are the closest team in baseball. And the rest of the MLB should be horrified of what's about to come if they can add a couple of the players. Whether it be, there's so many. Dylan Cease. There's some players from Japan coming over. Bo Bichette. This gives me even more confidence that Bo Bichette's going to run it back. If he sees Shane Bieber, taking discounts basically to come here, if the Jays pay him 8 years, 100 or 200 million, whatever it's going to take to get him, get it done and get all this business done, before the winter meetings. So then at the winter meetings, you can go out and you can get a Kyle Tucker. You can go out and spend $400 million. They just made so much from the World Series. Who cares? Spend hundreds of millions of dollars. Get a Framber Valdez. Get a lefty out of your starting rotation who is one of the most consistent starters in the league. I'm super excited. And things are going to get crazy even quicker than I thought. But man, oh man, what an absolute robbery, what an absolute steal. And you guys are the absolute best. Let me know down below what your thoughts are on this genuinely shocking news late Tuesday night. If you guys are excited as I am, make sure to hit that subscribe button. You guys are absolute beasts. And let me know down below if you're as excited as I am about this deal. Man, oh man, what a day.